This story is about Raja Shuheldev and the Battle of Bahraich. To understand the legacy of Raja Shuheldev, we need to understand a few historical facts first. India's northern regions were weakened due to the attacks by Mahmud Ghazni. Mahmud of Ghazni invaded India multiple times between years 1000 and 1027. Mahmud Ghazni died in year 1030. After his death, Muhammad Ghori invaded India in year 1175. In between these two invasions, there is a gap of more than a century. These historical facts raise several questions. One of them is why no invasion took place for about more than a century? Well, the answer to this question lies somewhere in the story of Raja Shuheldev and the Battle of Bahraich. Raja Shuheldev was an Indian king from Shavasti born in year 995. Shuheldev was the eldest son of King Murat of Shavasti. Mentions about Raja Shuheldev can be found in Mirat-i-Masudi, written by Sufi saint Abdur Rahman Chishti. In year 1026, Mahmud Ghazni was accompanied by his 11-year-old nephew Sayyid Salar Masood to ransack and destroy Somnath temple. Immediately after the death of Mahmud Ghazni, his nephew Salar Masood again invaded India in year 1031, who by now was 16. His army defeated kings in Punjab, Sindh, and Gujarat. In year 1033, he and his army had a triumphant march through Meerut, Kannauj, and Malihabad. On reaching Barabanki, Masood used Satrik as their base. Satrik was one of the districts in Barabanki. From Satrik, he sent his troops to conquer the neighboring territories. He sent his commander Salar Saifuddin to Bahraich. By the time this army reached Bahraich in present-day Uttar Pradesh, several rulers in northern India formed an alliance under the leadership of Raja Shuheldev. Because of the massive army under this alliance, Salar Saifuddin was up against a monumental challenge. Due to the fierce fight with the army in this alliance, Salar Saifuddin had to face severe losses and had to ask for reinforcements. Salar Masood himself had to come for their rescue, and thus had to face deadly and fierce attack by the troops led by Raja Shuheldev. After hours of fierce battle, Salar Masood was killed by Raja Shuheldev on 15th June 1034. Mentions about this battle can be found in Mirat-i-Masudi, which were later confirmed by British officer W.C. Bennett in his book Gazetteer of the Province of Und. As the outcome of this battle, Ghaznavid army was completely destroyed and killed to the last man, which halted the Turkic invasions and the conquest of India for more than a century, hence establishing Raja Shuheldev as a legendary king. The Turkic invasions resumed with Muhammad Ghori and establishment of Delhi Sultanate. It's clear that a serious message was delivered to the invaders after this battle. And it's because of this stern message, India didn't see invasions for about 150 years. Even though Raja Shuheldev had a significant role in Indian history, it's difficult to understand why enough information and details about Raja Shuheldev are not available. Centuries have passed, and even though there is a lack of information and details about him and his kingdom, Raja Shuheldev stood the test of time and he is part of folklores. He still inspires people across generations. It is also important that information about him and his kingdom, its economy and defenses are explored further. There are several versions of this story in the classic and popular culture. There are also differences in opinion on his death and the way he died. For now, this is the end of the story about Raja Suheldev and the Battle of Bahraich. In the next video, we'll discuss about a different story. For more stories, please do like, share, and subscribe our channel.